Okay, looks like we got reconnected. And see if I have to bring Skype back up if that disconnected. So I think we are.
You're back on.
Does it look like we're back on? Yeah.
So I don't remember where we were exactly. But on a lighter note, I did want to mention that we finally did locate a property down here in the Ozarks, a nice 70-acre plot. And we're trying to find some people that want to come down here and maybe get this farm going to create some community. We got plenty of space out here. Not a whole lot of structures, but there's this thing called aircrete that I've been looking into. You can build a nice structure for about $1,000 or $2,000. Like a tiny house, kind of 400 square foot house kind of thing. You can make them as big as you want. But one nice thing is that they're pretty much flame proof. So you don't get many forest fires out here, but you never know what's going on these days.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you found the place. So it seems like I don't know. It seems like we can't get the chat back, but we are live. I'm not sure what's going on with the chat.
I got the chat up.
Do you see any interaction going on?
Yeah. Can anybody in the chat hear us?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not getting any response from them right now. And the numbers are going way down. So it doesn't look good. But thank you for calling in, Grumpy. And I'm glad again that you found that property.
They're saying they can hear us. But anyway, for anybody in the chat or anybody that listens later on, if you're interested and come out here in the Ozarks potentially, then leave something down in the chat and I'll send you a message back.
And you're in Missouri.
Yep, we're in the Ozarks, near the Missouri-Arkansas border, near a town called the Jewel of the Ozarks. Well, that's not the name of it, but that's what it says in the sign when you drive in there. Is it's like this real cute kind of old-timey 50s or 40s or 50s style kind of town with a town square. It's got a couple little art galleries and a coffee shop and a little organic grocer. Kind of unique for the Midwest. Usually these small towns are like a dollar store and like a crappy diner or something, So it's going to be nice to get down there where it feels a little bit more like you're living in a real town.
Well, very nice, very nice. And hopefully somebody will take you up on that and it'll turn into exactly how you envisioned it.
Yeah, I've reached out to a couple of people. I got, 2 or 3, 4 people I'm talking to now, so hopefully something will materialize.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, you having me on?
Yep, we're back up. Okay, great. So glad we got you guys back, and not sure what that blip was. I don't know. Who said what? Was it censorship of Grumpy Troll? But thank you for the call, Grumpy. As always, take care, my brother, and thank you so much for sharing.
All right, take care too much.
Take care, bud. And hello, caller. We have you on the air. And who do we have with us now?
Hi, it's Betsy from Minneapolis.
Hi, how you doing, Betsy?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Now that we got the chat back up. That
It's
was
working.
yeah.
It's
Thankfully.
definitely working. You're on. Yeah. Patience. So, I just thought that, thanks for having me on and answering, because I thought it would like shift gears here a little bit.
Sure.
And read about, give a reading from the Hopi elders from the Arabi, Arizona Hopi Nation.
Sure.
The moon of the falling leaves, which is September 2001. So, would you mind? I think it's nice for everybody.
Oh yeah, please go right ahead.
So the Hopi elders speak. You have been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth, create your community, be good to each other, and do not look outside yourself for the leader. This could be a good time. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are being torn apart, and they will suffer greatly. No, the river has its destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. See who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourself. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for. The elders, Arabi, Arizona, of the Hopi Nation. And that was back 2001 AD. So I just believe that these are the words as important as anything else, everything that people can project and imagine or dream or know of for what our future is, because we don't really know for sure. But I appreciate your gathering of souls of light and love and sharing, all the best.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that. And it's not just even the Hopi elders. The Aboriginal elders have come out and said the same thing. So,
Correct.
those that are in tune with the earth, they feel it. When those that are in tune with the energies all around them, they know. And us too. Here in the United States or whatever country you are in, we could obviously see what's going on. It's pretty obvious to see what's happening around us, and for sure, this is the time, and we are the people, and those that are part of this family, we're awake, and we know what it's all about. It's all about love. It's all about raising ourselves up in consciousness and shedding.
Right.
We got to shed. We have to process and get rid of anything that's negative that's been holding us down. And so,
Right.
don't hold on to any negative energies. If you've And we were talking about this earlier. I saw a lot of comments in the chat room in regards to, like, with that very, very first caller, who was talking about justice and stuff. And if we're looking for justice, that's not really where we want to look. We want to look more for forgiveness, and moving
Right.
past things instead of demanding justice.
And the physics of forgiveness are relatively simple, as being in the present moment.
Yes. Exactly. Because if you're in the present moment and you're really focused on the present moment, you're not going to be dwelling on the past or worrying about the future.
Right. And then there's time and just acting and studying and learning and being aware, but still just coming back to that precious present moment, and where all things are possible. And then really one of the things I've learned recently is count the number of coincidences, because there lies the fabric of truth. And it's true that it is a fabric. It's an amazing tapestry, and all the threads get pulled a little bit tighter, and it becomes more and more beautiful. But there's a lot of, it might be truth for somebody, but what is it for us that is true? And then not taking anything personally, and that's one of the 4 agreements, which is be impeccable with your words. And I can never remember all 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But don't take anything personally, and always do your best. That's people like, how can you not take things personally? Well, it's just something that when you look at, there is no separation, and then acting in your most loving, best way, and then having things really, align, and just celebrate that, say it out loud, expect that, but without being attached to those expectations. And so as we go forward, it's quite amazing. It's just been watching the skies in Mexico, and I'm not even sure if, Dr. Claudia Albert say, is there really a sun? Is something there? But there is in the rising up in the west. There's all kinds of crazy lights and whatnot, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. It's quite beautiful and amazing, which is one of the reasons why I like to share about this whole situation. Is there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of intensity in that. The cosmic rays are available for us for our evolution, but it also could be it probably is very incredibly challenging, and for the average person.
Oh, most definitely.
If they pay attention. Yeah. So just keeping on, really working on our light body and our energy body, using colors and using tuning forks, using crisp, stones and jewelry and tinctures and flower essences and herbs and food. That's in yoga or meditation type, QiGong-ish type exercises to strengthen our physical, spiritual, mind, body, and without, I have no idea what all these different dimensions are and whatnot, but I just, here we are in this dimension, and to try to make the best of that using the tools that we know that we have, because I think that's the tools of the future, which is right now.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Everything is transitioning, and ultimately it's going to be a beautiful thing. So we just have to get through this roller coaster ride we're on right now and stay positive and stay up.
No doubt. And it's very, very difficult too, because we want to know what's going on politically and socioeconomically and whatnot, and we kind of want to know. But when it's so confusing and it's so distracting, and who really knows what the truth is, and who's, this and that, saying that you might believe once or twice, who knows what to believe, because I don't believe any of it. But those, I don't even know what to call them, but there's those out there that are in power that are just crazy, to say the least. And so, but we must just do our best to take care of our family and our friends and our homes and our towns, and kind of pay attention and be aware of what's going on with the chaos of the world, of the climate around us, so we can pray for that, in ways of like imagining how a better outcome, like a really good outcome, as opposed to praying for something that might intervene for us, because what's going to intervene for us is positive energy.
Exactly. And so, our own personal practice is so important. And I mean, I could just tell you how important it is to me, because, I've made a move lately, and really I've been all over the place, so I wasn't able to practice as I usually did. But it's just so important, because just getting out there and doing even just 20 minutes of QiGong, I'm in a totally different place now. And it happens so fast now, because we're definitely rising in dimensions and vibration. It's just, everything is so much quicker than it used to be. Your energy could change to just like that, a drop of a hat.
Yeah. Things you can ask questions and they're answered. You might not even have to ask questions. Just be curious about something, and the mystery, the magic of it will give you that answer. It's so amazing.
Yep.
Something just, even as very simple as what those words mean, and then be reading a book, and then having those words be explained right there. I'm like, oh, huh. It's really, it's fun. But it is. Things are happening really, really quickly, and so again, all the more reason to come back to our practice and intervene with ourselves as soon as possible, so we start being feeling off, and come back to that practice, whatever it is, and be open to other practices that you may or may not know of that you can be in tune with, in alignment. Again, things as simple as flower essences, or crystals and stones and jewelry and food, and basically, or else thoughts. What do you put yourself in front of? What are your energetics that you're exposing yourself to, from everything from music to news to social and other media, and just pay attention, just be aware. That's
Definitely.
the yoga.
It is. And one thing that was really unusual, well, maybe not so unusual, but it was really interesting. Yesterday, took Zeke up the street with a friend for a walk, and there's the next door neighbors are cows. So there's a farmer next door, and there's a bunch of cows, and there's a couple little babies that are adorable. And so there's one baby cow was just looking down at the hill and just staring so intently.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and waved to him, and then my friend waved to him, and then he lifted his leg up. It was like the weirdest thing. It was
nice.
It was like he was acknowledging us and went to wave back. It was the craziest thing. We just started laughing, because he really the consciousness, or she, it was actually a she, the consciousness there, we're going to be more telepathic, we're going to be able to communicate more with our pets and animals. It's part of the changes that are going on right now.
Right, and then just like speaking of that, when I studied Jose Arguelles way back in the harmonic convergence, and time in 1987, and I just understood so much of it, and then the last chapters I just didn't get, and then but I had to believe it about coming into the Galactic Federation, and projecting into an evolutionary domain that is really still quite inconceivable, but basically it's talking about like the unique moment, the moment of total planetary synchronization, certain 13.000 on the beam. I mean, this is probably coming into because we just evolved past that calendar, and now we're into a new one. But it just says here. I'll just read this one chapter. Paragraph that basically that precludes it by saying that beneath the war is abandoned and criminal activities, hoarding, et cetera, then they say that there'll be a council on creative rehabilitation which will remand all criminals to creative rehabilitation units overseen by geomantic ritualists who, following diagnosis, will then consign the offenders to creative problem-solving tasks connected with houses of the senses. But it's like as if a great voltage to a switch where we'll be synchronized and integrated in our whole circuit. The Earth itself illuminated, both poles, circumpolar energy uniting the planetary antipodes instantaneously understood as an external projection of unification of the collective mind of humanity in that moment of understanding. Again, we will be collectively projected into an evolutionary domain that is presently inconceivable. I mean, isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, it is.
But that's according to our Mayan future, the prophecy of the Shambhala, leading into, a whole different Bhakton and a golden age, and also spoken of in the Tibetan. And so it's a really interesting to put these fabulous high energetic words and the potential for the collectiveness, and even if we don't understand it from the part of our brain that doesn't need to understand it, this is the kind of stuff that I think is really cool to pay attention to, as opposed to the negativity of what comes off regular media. But what I was reading from comes from the book The Mayan Factor, Path Beyond Technology by Jose Aguilas, who was definitely a visionary, but very much Mayan, and that was written in 1987, and that was the year of the last, 87 was the last 25 years about the Mayan, at the end of the Mayan calendar. But it's also really good for us if you want. Here's another, just one last thing, just something to pay attention to is the 13 moon calendar, which is a Tolkien method of keeping time that has each day is energetic and whatnot, so that's another tool. So I'd like to really honor you and all your work, and again, the reason why I wanted to call in is just to suggest and recommend and acknowledge some of the tools that we have.
Well, thank you.
No matter what happens.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Betsy, too. And I was going.
My pleasure.
Before I did this fast move, I was going to actually be doing a seminar that would have been last weekend, and that was the main focus, was all Jose Arguelles and the Mayan calendar, and it was going to be a seminar in Tampa. Yeah. So
awesome.
I had agreed to do it, but then the move came up, so I had to cancel, and I felt bad about it. But
for sure. Well, yeah, I understand. Well, see if you can get some of the proceedings, because usually they tape them. See if you can get some of the proceedings, and that you can that you can have access to. Like when I worked at the Gaia conference for 12 years, and it's an herbal conference, we taped, and then we got to be sent home with all the recordings. I still listen to them, some of the highest. So maybe you can get access to that. Put that on your list of mysteries, and see if the magic will come through.
That sounds
you're curious.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I
didn't know that was going on. I'll do the same too. I'll see what I can do, and we'll be in touch.
Definitely.
What was it called again?
Gosh, I forget what the name of the seminar was. I'm gonna have to check that.
I can look it up. It's in Florida. Did you say it was in Florida?
Yep, it was in Tampa. It was actually done by one of our family members as well.
Right on. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. There really is, because the changes. There's definitely, it's so right when we think about it in terms of the birth pangs. Because it truly is. It's the birth pains of a new world, and there's huge changes going on. And so it's pretty wild, because I'm learning a lot of stuff here, and I've shared with you guys. I'm up in the Great Smoky Mountains now, so it's a beautiful area. And now I had heard about.
Are you near Asheville?
Yeah, I'm a little bit from there, but still in the general area.
Right. That's where my conference was every year. The Medicine from the Earth conference was in Asheville. It's an awesome area. There's a lot of light there.
Oh, there is.
Go ahead. So you're learning so much, and you're there in that area.
And you know what I'm learning is that there's a lot of wild stuff here, and I wasn't aware of it, but I'm becoming really aware of it. And so the powers that be know the safe zones. We know they know the safe zones, and we've talked about the safe zones before. The Four Corners area, especially southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, Hopi land, like that area. Also the Ozarks, again, you want to make sure you're far enough away from the Mississippi River and the New Madrid, but the Ozarks is the other. And then also the Appalachian Mountains as well.
Yeah.
And, this area is loaded with CIA, FBI, and federal agents because they know it's a safe zone, so it's pretty wild.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so, and there's a lot of legends, and there's also...
Your ears and eyes open.
Oh, yeah. And there's also...
Just for the fun of it.
There's underground bases here as well.
Stand tall. Yeah. You can imagine the whole yin and the yang of that area and just the whole, But it is prophesied in all of in Thessalonians and Acts and Daniel and, of course, the Revelations. I mean, there's passage after passage that talks about what could come, and they wrote those. They documented all that down from Sumerian. The people who wrote the Bible were exiled to Babylon when they wrote that, and they put all that stuff down. And those priests were astrologists, and that information was passed down, and each culture has different ways. Well, the ones who survive have different ways of putting it out there, like the petroglyphs, the cool petroglyphs with the plasma and the sprites and all that kind of stuff, and the sky beings, and which I learned recently are all just besides shamans, sky phenomenon, and those folks went under probably to survive, and Lord knows who's going to be safe where, but just like I said in the prophecy, jump in and don't be afraid, and look to see who are around us and celebrate. And those, no matter that there's everybody's suffering, and hopefully the people that you say that are like the ex-CIA and who knows what that maybe have been, and maybe hopefully they, I don't know, it's going to be a tough one to see if these people aren't tight asses, or are they going to be sharing community people. But what can we do? Nothing about that. No,
exactly. Yeah, we just have to look out for ourselves and each other in this family, as well.
Yeah.
The Baker family.
Be open and enjoy, celebrate. Could be a good time, as it said. So.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Betsy. It's always a pleasure.
You're welcome. It really, really is. And I'm going to I'll look up some information, see if we can find out about the conference and hear about any of the proceedings and whatnot, because it would be interesting to see how that information has evolved to something that is a little bit less inconceivable. But I keep learning from all you folks, like little pieces of words make sense, and it's cryptical, and magical, but it's not it's not unfathomable. So keep up the God work, and I love you dearly, and you and all the people in this community. I give you thanks and praise, and we'll just stay in touch.
Thank you so much, sister. Much love, much respect. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha. Namaste. And that was Betsy. And so that was another really good call. So yeah, before we close out tonight, I'm learning a lot about this area, and it's pretty fascinating because everything I heard about like the Ozarks and New Mexico as well, because originally I was heading to New Mexico, and then I don't know, things changed mentally, did a little bit more research. I feel like I'm in a good spot. Not that those other spots are not good. Here there's ample rainfall. There's no damage to the trees. The trees look great. I saw, our buddy Rex at Leak Project, over there in Colorado, higher altitudes. The trees are dying from the UV. And there's water issues there, and there's so much fracking there. So, when it came down to it, plus I've lived in the Carolinas before, so I just figured that being somewhere in the Southeast, and I've lived in Georgia and Florida, so I just felt like being in this area would be more comfortable, and so that's why I decided on it. And am not disappointed. It's absolutely paradise. It feels great. It feels very comfortable. But you know what? The powers that be and those that are in the know, they know too where the safe zones are, so they're gravitating to them. And that was the one thing that was a little bit surprising, is finding out that there's so much ex-government officials and ex-military here as well. Not that that's a bad thing. They know where the safe zones are. But you know what? There's really nowhere that's safer than being in the right place in your heart. That's really the lesson that we're learning. It's all about our own vibration. And you have to find that place that's going to allow you to feel peace, and if that's in the middle of New York City or DC for you, that's fine. Then be there if that's what feels peaceful for you, wherever it is, because you have to be at peace with yourself and be happy with where you're living as well. I do feel that I could definitely think here a lot better than I was thinking down in Florida. Down in Florida, I felt a lot of pressure, a lot of energy, a lot of tension. And then just also with the whole thing going on with the red tide, that was really kind of the thing that really nudged me to move quicker, because I could feel it. It was just toxic. Although I met a ton of people that I absolutely love down in Florida. And I hope that at some point they will come join me up here in the mountains. Mr. Mark Mucci, Miss Fifth World out there, as well as many, many others. Alejandra. There are so many beautiful people in our family that are down there. And doesn't mean that you're not going to shift into the fifth dimension fully down there and everything goes to a good place. Could be. But would love to see you guys come and visit as well, because I would just love to have you guys hang by the campfire and just chill and listen to the crickets and the night sounds. And it would be just great to share some stories in person. It's the same thing with all you guys out there, all our family members. It's such a wonderful blessing to have you with us and to share this. And there's so much love in this family. It's beautiful, and we're going to grow this. And, so many of you guys out there, I'm honored by you guys telling me that I'm helping you in a positive way, like Sylvain. Thank you so much, brother Sylvain. Thank you for sharing as well. And would love to meet you as well. So everybody, always, always, always. And Stack, you'd be welcome to come visit, of course. May you guys always be blessed with abundant light, love, peace, harmony, happiness. Always keep your hearts and your mind on the bigger prize, which is that paradise, that heaven on earth that will manifest at the end of all this, as we transition into a new golden age that we have all heard. It's been foretold for thousands of years. So God bless everyone. Namaste, my friends. Much love. And we will speak again.